Well, I recently got interested in the topic about foot binding. I read this essay in my English class, and so I decided to write about it today, or talk about it. Okay, so my claim is that contrary to the Western beliefs that foot binding was degrading and barbaric, Chinese women actually took pleasure in the ancient practice, or were encouraged to do it. First, I want to cite the opinion of Dorothy Coe. She's a history professor at Columbia University's Barnard College. In her book, In Every Step a Lotus, Shoes for Bound Feet, she explains how foot binding had less to do with the exotic or the sublime than with the mundane business of having to live in a woman's body in a man's world. So this notes that foot binding was more about sexual attraction, and it was also about emulating the higher class, even if were not in it, and showing that you had high morals. Coe also says that brides with bound feet were not only desirable because potential grooms found them sexually alluring, but because to potential in-laws their bound feet were a signal or a symbol of modesty and morality. Okay, secondly, I would like to use some statistics that will help you recognize the level of risk that these women were willing to take in order to fit in and create an image for themselves. There was a study, this study was published in the American Journal of Public Health. The study was conducted in China and Beijing on women 70 years old and older. The results of the study were that women with bound feet were more likely to fall. They couldn't squat or they couldn't stand up for their chair without assistance. And they also couldn't get out much because it was really painful to walk. Not to mention the pain and even smell. Nevertheless, these women were encouraged to mind their feet because even though they started binding their feet at a young age, some as young as 3 years old, the practice was like a rite of passage. It made them marriageable when they got older, and they were attractive. So the practice of binding one's feet served many other purposes beneficial to men and women alike. According to the essay China Chic, this is the essay that I read in my English class. It says that by making the feet of women so much smaller than those of men, it emphasized that women were different. Men and women were different. And also, since only Chinese women bound their feet, it distinguished Chinese people from non-Chinese people. Also, there's a quote by the 19th century traveler. Her name is Isabella Bird. She had the opportunity to travel to China, and she met a young girl there who was having her feet bandaged. And this is what she said: the butler's little daughter, aged 7, is having her feet bandaged for the first time and is in torture, but bears it bravely in the hope of getting a rich husband. But the mother of the suffering infant says, with a quiet air of triumph, truth and triumph, that Chinese women suffer less in the process of being crippled than foreign women do from wearing corsets. So all of these things made me realize that foot binding, even though it was painful, it helped women and their country in that time. And if you don't take the practice out of context, it was actually something normal, like us wearing high heels nowadays. That's